I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we like to discuss, dissect, and destroy guilty pleasure movies. And then we decide whether the film is truly spoilt milk, or whether it's ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, let's go.
Warning, this podcast is full of spoilers for the title feature, and there's bad language from the start. If you've never seen the film, or you're offended by bad language, you have been warned.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, where today we will be discussing Harry and the Hendersons. That's the title of the film, isn't it?
Harry and the Hendersons.
I kept wanting to call it Bigfoot and the Hendersons. Is that the TV show?
It's Harry and the...
No. Yeah.
The TV show was called
It was
Harry and the Hendersons as well.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like, I don't...
His name's Harry.
Yeah, why would it be Bigfoot and the Hendersons?
Because I feel like...
That's a terrible name for it.
I feel like that's what it was called. Bigfoot and the Hendersons, I'm sure.
Are you saying that is not good enough for a name?
Yeah. I'm removing his name.
Oh.
Yeah, look, I'm looking now, and there's a version of the VHS front cover where it's called Bigfoot and the Hendersons. A hilarious hair-raising film. Yeah, I don't know if we got like a different title in the UK or something like that.
Yeah, maybe that, like, some of the marketing people didn't trust certain areas of the world to understand.
The British.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what Bigfoot is.
No, but to be fair, like, what the fuck is Harry and the Hendersons? If you see that, it doesn't really tell you what the film's about.
But you meant to then look at the images, the box cover.
Yeah, but if you were like opening a newspaper in like the 1990s, was this like 80s? I forget, I didn't look it up. And
I thought you were going to eat
it
that
was
then.
87.
87, and you see on the listings Harry and the Hendersons. That doesn't mean anything to you. Like, Harry could be a smackhead that the Hendersons have adopted. Well, we'll get onto the film shortly, but first we've got to do our top threes, and in line with Bigfoot, we're going for what, Katty?
Our top three favourite cryptids in films.
Cryptids?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Cryptids.
Like, cryptids.
That sounds like it's going to be crosswords in films or something.
No, it's cryptid. So, like, Loch Ness Monster and, like, Mothman and...
Did anyone go for Loch Ness?
No.
The Ted Danson film?
No.
No, me
I've
neither.
never even heard of it.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, right, okay then. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oof.
Mine's a bit of a one from my crowder. It's an obvious one. It does, like, Frankenstein counts, right? It's a mythical creature.
I mean, it's not a mythical creature.
Why?
It's not like folklore,
Yeah.
which is what we were going for. Like, no one's ever said that they've spotted Frankenstein.
I thought you meant like just from myths and legends type.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's not a myth or a legend. He's a character from
He's
a
a
book.
legend. He's an absolute legend.
The backup was like a mummy, so from The Mummy.
No, you're shit.
What?
Yeah. That's not folklore. We'll go on then if you're going to go for
No.
Frankenstein.
You guys go and let's see if I can figure one out. But
Are you just going to be not in the conversation for the next 10 minutes? We're just going to look at your blank expression.
Oh. No, I'll be listening as well. See if anything.
I showed you that website at work.
Oh, yeah.
I brought in that book that you read.
I thought these would be covered under that.
No.
Oh.
Maybe a mummy? No, because mummies are actual factual things. Like,
but
people
then
were
putting them alive
mummified.
and walking around.
Yeah.
That's from like stories that people told.
Possibly.
When they was first raiding tombs and things like that, weren't they? There's curses and stuff, and there's like, oh, the mummy will get you.
Go on then. So if you're going for mummy, what version of mummy?
the
Monster
classic.
Squad.
No. I'm going for the film The Mummy, starring Brendan
Tom Cruise.
Fraser.
Oh, right. Okay,
fuck
then.
off.
Have you seen the Tom Cruise
No,
one?
No.
it looks terrible.
Yeah, it's not good at all. You're going for the Brendan Fraser one?
Yeah,
Has that got Rachel Weisz in as well?
Yeah. Because I think not just the mummy. There's a lot of creatures in that, like the beetles that go under your skin, and
Scarabs.
there's a lot of the scarabs. I mean, they're not real, right?
Well, scarabs are real.
They don't actually go under your skin.
I mean, they do with like corpses of animals.
Really?
Oh. Corpses of animals. They're not alive.
Why do I imagine those beetles to be really shitly rendered, like really poor CGI?
Probably.
Like really
Yeah.
like bulging heads.
But so was the mummy, if you look back at it, as the actual creature itself. But it was still scary. In fact, it was going around taking like eyes and tongues for people. And I like that. He didn't just kill them. He left them alive, missing parts of their body. I was like, that's really good. I mean, if you heard that as a story that you told as a kid, that's a scary story.
Did you see any version of The Mummy before you watched that? Was that your first introduction to a mummy? I
don't think it was my first introduction. For one, there's cartoons, which, like Scooby-Doo, they always feature mummies and stuff like that. And I feel there would have been something like Monster Squad, even though I didn't watch Monster Squad. There's something would have been like that I would have bumped into, but I can't think.
Is there not something inherently unscary about something called Mummy? Mummy!
Well, that's what I would have thought. And going into The Mummy, I was like, it was something scary. But then, that bit where he's taking eyes and tongues and people and just screaming at you. Pretty fucking scary. If anyone just comes up to your face and screams at you, alone with a like dislocated jaw and
dislocated jaw.
Have you got a dislocated jaw?
I'm on my breakfast beer of the day. So.
What's your favourite mummy?
Do you include
ever?
Scorpion King in there with the mummies? Because is that like the mummy : or open brackets Scorpion King? Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's bad.
It's shit.
So that's not.
The CGI is terrible.
Well, I've seen the mummy where he turns up at the end and does his eyebrow or whatever as the Scorpion, but I never saw the Scorpion King film.
It's amazing to see where Rock has come. That that was his like first debut, wasn't it? It was his first proper debut. And then he got stuck in a Disney contract doing things like the Tooth Fairy.
I love that film.
I do.
Never seen it.
It's not good for his career.
And they did all those like the rundown and walking tall. They're not the same, are they?
Yeah, no, they are different, but they are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But again, I loved them. They were terrible, but when they came out, I was like, I love them. And I don't know how he's managed to get.
So Katty wanted to know which was your favourite of the mummies.
Like your favourite mummy ever? Like my favourite mummy is the mummy from Bubba Hotep.
Oh, that is such a good.
We're almost going down our top 3 mummies now.
That is a good. I haven't watched Bubba Hotep in ages, but
such a good film.
That probably would have lent better as well to this as lore, because that's all about. I don't know. It's a bit of storytelling, isn't it?
It's like conspiracy theory type thing.
Yeah,
that is good. Do you want to go next, Katty?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to know what yours is going to be. I feel like you have a vast knowledge of folklore and cryptids.
Cryptid.
Shit. Oh, before we move on, is Tales from the Crypt guy, is he a mummy?
I'd say he's a mummy, yeah.
Oh. I thought he didn't have any bandages.
No. Is that what defines a mummy?
But you don't have to have bandages to be a mummy, because there's like it's mummification, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just
you can come out of the bandages.
The drying of the skin and stuff.
Yeah. Could you salt a mummy?
like a slug to get it away.
No, you know,
that'd be a different ending to the film, The Mummy. And salt.
You know, like you preserve things in salt. Could you just salt a corpse to make it a mummy? I feel like this could go on for ages. What's your selection?
So, I mean, I had a lot, and I was gonna go for Project Alf.
Well, first of all, why are you saying project and not project?
Project.
And why Alf?
I fucking love Alf.
If you were having to go at me for the Mummy and Frankenstein for lore, how is Alf?
Yeah, that's not folklore.
Because aliens come under cryptids.
What? This is stacked against me yet again.
Yeah.
How do aliens?
Yeah,
come
I
up
guess
with
if
cryptids?
we were talking about people like citing them, so I've seen a Bigfoot, or I've seen an alien, I guess, yeah.
Well, these rules weren't told to me. You two seem to know the rules.
Well, you obviously know nothing about this. The subject.
Yeah.
This is my subject.
Even though you were given a book and a fucking website or whatever.
When we sit in the basement at work, like I brought in a little book for him to read.
So could I have gone with like killer clowns? Because they don't fully exist, but people always say like.
You could have gone for like Slender Man.
Okay, Slenderman would have been good. Got my answer.
But what I did decide on is something that I've only recently learnt about. So it's on the film called Bridgewater Triangle.
Never heard of it.
It's about cryptids. It's about this little area in America. It's like a triangle. It's in Bridgewater, and like Bigfoot lives there. And there's all sorts of alien sightings, and there's weird like sightings of other creatures. But my favourite one is called a puckwudgie.
Why is it going to be something weird? Is it going to be something that's got a dick for a face or something?
It's just a walking vagina.
It peels the foreskin back and traps you in it, or something like that. Peels. That was gross.
Oh. Do you peel back foreskin?
I don't have foreskin. This is why I don't know how to talk about it.
No.
But it had Widgie in the title.
Puckwudgie.
Oh, Woodgie. Right, what's a Puckwudgie?
Is it like a budgie mixed with a...
That's what I said, Puckwudgie.
A budgie mixed with a book?
Puck.
What's it?
P-U-K.
So,
So puckwudgies are small, and they were around native sort of American times and stuff, and they were mates with people, and then these people employed a giant to like shoo all these puckwudgies off the land, and so then they just turned evil, and
I like that you're saying it like it's real.
they drive people to suicide or push them off cliffs.
Oh. Well, what? How? Do you like magic or?
Yeah.
How do we physically push? Because they're like ghost type.
No, they're kind of little. There's like two different descriptions of them. One of them is grey and kind of looks like a porcupine, and the other one just looks like a baby Bigfoot.
I like that they're like, we will magically make you commit suicide, and if that doesn't work, we'll just push you off a cliff.
Yeah.
I will just entice you up there with some like treats.
One of
with
them's
some
just
Doritos.
really lazy. The other thing was they're slick for ages, and then there's just one guy like, I'm just going to push him off the cliff.
Maybe they use the magic to get you up to the cliff.
Okay.
And then they like the physical act of pushing someone.
They just like to see it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a story in the film Bridgewater Triangle. There's a story about a man that is walking his dog and comes across this puckwudgie, and it's apparently there at the side of the road under a street light, just like beckoning him over, trying to get him into the woods. I reckon to rape his dog and push him off a cliff.
Well,
So yeah.
you have not disappointed.
And apart from Bridgewater Triangle, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else you can find out more about? Have they got like a Wikipedia entry or anything like that?
There's a Wikipedia all about cryptozoology.
Oh, right. Okay. Then I imagine that's bookmarked on your computer.
It's bookmarked on my work laptop.
So remind us what they're called again.
Puckwudgie.
Puckwudgie. Right. Okay then. So I again, like you, had a couple that I was thinking of. I'm quite partial to a minotaur or a minotaur, however I always thought it was minotaur.
Minotaur.
In role models or whatever they call it, minotaur, don't they?
Minotaur.
But I particularly like the one that's in Your Highness. Have you seen Your Highness, the
Yeah,
Danny McBride film?
Yeah, can't remember it. Though.
Cuts its dick off and wears it round his neck like a necklace. But I didn't go for that one. I've gone for Troll Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all really I can remember about that film. The fact that it's mockumentary, Norwegian, and that the guy shouts troll, but it's super low budget, isn't it? But they do a really good job of special effects. And I felt like that did a decent job of folklore.
Yeah.
Like it involves trolls and things that people don't see but talk about spotting.
Yeah, like I've seen things like the sort of animated Beowulf, which did Trolls, which was all right.
Grendel, is it?
Yeah. And I kind of
Grendel.
like that,
Yeah.
as weird as the style was. But yeah, Troll Hunter, when that came out, I was like, that is what I didn't realise I wanted out of a troll movie. It's really good. And
Well, electricity pylons keep the trolls in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I need to watch that again. I've seen it twice. But
is there a sequel?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think there might be. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen it.
It looks really nice. I feel like it'll stand up the test of time if we watch. Maybe we could do it one day as a film and watch it together. But that's mine.
Yeah.
Troll Hunter.
I could have gone with Blair Witch, couldn't I?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would have, but I've just been trying to think now. And
So do you kind of get now what we were going for?
yeah, I think when you said that it had to be like more related around sightings and stuff, but I was just thinking because they're from lore, from the history that like, yeah, that have been talked about, that I could go with. Yeah.
What Frankenstein were you going to go for?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
What with De Niro?
Yeah. It's just because I remember watching it as a kid and I really loved it.
But technically, Frankenstein's that monster anyway.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
do you mean Frankenstein monster? We're doing Kenny. You're a genius of the internet.
Right, well, that's our top three then, and then we'll talk about Bigfoot. So, Hobo, what was
You mean
yours?
Harry?
Oh, yeah, Harry.
Mine was the Mummy / Slenderman / Blair Witch.
Mine was the Troll / Minotaur. Katty?
Mine's a Pukwudgie.
I just wanted to hear you say that again. Brian will be back shortly to talk about Harry.
Harry, yeah.
This is a break from the podcast. This isn't fake, it is real. Grab a biscuit, a Kit Kat, or toffee, maybe a samosa.
Welcome back to part one of Harry and the Hendersons Spoilt Milk movie podcast. Katty, what's the film about?
Family go on holiday. They crash into something. Turns out to be a Bigfoot. They take it home. And the rest of the film is just sort of explaining the love and the bond that this family grow for Harry. They give him a
Man
name.
and Beast.
He's not a beast. He's more human than monster.
He's more human than some of the humans in this film, I would say.
What classes as a beast then? Whoa. Sorry.
I don't know.
Like beast, like if you've got a black heart.
Black heart.
Snarling teeth.
Like the picture that his dad wants him to draw later in the film. Right, okay, so who have we got? We've got the dad of the family.
John Lithgow?
Yeah, John Lithgow. Is he
Young.
called George? Yeah.
George.
But still old.
Yeah. His
Young,
forehead.
young but still old.
Yeah.
Like, he's younger, but I think it's his forehead and lack of hair
Yeah.
that makes him look older than he actually is. But you can see if he didn't have an unfortunate hairline, he probably would have been more of a heartthrob type. Because he got the American like jawline and dimple in his chin and stuff.
Look at you. No fucking way.
Fucking swooning.
Yeah.
I just want to lick on him a little bit. No, it's because I've seen him most recently. I think I saw him in Churchill.
Oh, yeah. What, the TV show?
Yeah, and so
I've got
obviously,
something stuck in my tights.
Is it a dog?
is it a scarab beetle?
No, it's something sticky.
Oh,
I know it's like a label.
Right, okay.
okay. That's slightly reassuring.
Yeah, a sticky label.
Yeah, on one side.
I mean, are these brand new tights, or have you just got a random sticky label?
No, they're new, so it's probably off
okay.
the back of them.
Yeah, I've done that. I bought like jeans before, and I've not realised it's got. You know, when you take off the tags, but you don't realise there's an extra, like the one which tells you the size.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look like an idiot.
Can't imagine wearing tights like every day, putting tights on. Like, I feel like that'd be weird on my legs all day. Does it not?
I think you should try it.
Yeah, maybe.
It might unlock something.
Do you know what? I might have to
What?
next week because I'm going in for an operation on Tuesday, and they were saying to avoid blood clots and deep vein thrombosis or something. They're like, you've got to wear bed tights. So I'll see if I've got some. I'll put a picture on the Spoilt Milk Instagram page of me and my tights.
Yeah.
Please just promise for Layla's like fancy tights.
I don't think she has fancy tights. What makes a tight fancy?
Like a
Sequins.
colour.
So, we've got George is the dad, isn't he? Your man crush.
Yeah, Ern is the kid.
Ernie's the kid. He was a bit of an annoying kid, wasn't he?
I didn't mind Ernie. Fucking hated that girl.
Oh, yeah, she was so two-dimensional, wasn't she? What was her name? I can't even...
I don't know.
Like it was something like Marcy or Angie or something generic like
I
that.
do normally make a note of... Oh, good. Nancy, yeah.
Oh,
I did
Nancy.
make a note
I thought
of
the
it.
mum was Nancy.
Oh, yeah, she was, because he kept calling her Nan.
Nan, yeah. And I thought he was like saying man. Like, hey, man.
Oh, then maybe I didn't write her name down. I think I've only got Nancy.
It's because she was two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Nan.
She had a note about her.
No, apart from that she loved corsage. Is that how you say
A
it?
corsage.
It's not croissage, is it corsage?
Yeah.
Croissant.
she loved
croissant.
Yeah.
She loved her croissant.
Yeah. You know, when you go to a prom and you pin a croissant.
Yeah, because it's practical, because it's a snack as well as decoration.
How much did she wasted like a load of money on that. She's like, oh, that cost me like
No, 6 months.
6 months.
She'd waited 6 months or some shit.
Yeah.
She was going to keep it forever.
Oh, yeah, she was, wasn't she? And Harry just fucking scrams it.
and then spits it out.
Yeah. So the start of the film, it's Amblin, isn't it? This film, which is that's Spielberg's company, and it opens with that very Jaws-like, kind of a bit Evil Dead as well, where it's got the tracking shot through the trees.
Oh,
and
mine opened with an FBI warning saying piracy is not a victimless crime.
So who did you kill? Really? There's a victim somewhere. But yeah, I got the horror fake out vibe. And even after the initial fake out at the start,
There's lots of fake outs.
There's a scream. There's even references to, well, there's like, this is your first blood and...
Yeah, Rambo reference.
Yeah, first kill. And there's loads of little bits like that. But at the start, they really seem to be going hard on the movie references in every kind of way, which is interesting.
But I'm not sure why.
Because it'd been a while since I've seen this. While I had seen it before, I couldn't remember any of it. So I was like, where is this going? I thought it got to the Harry with the Hendersons bit sooner than it did.
What you thought it did when you were younger?
Yeah, I thought it was like...
I felt like it got into that ridiculously quickly.
Yeah.
I was expecting like a good half an hour before Harry turned up. But he was on the roof of that car within about 6 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That was so long to
Because
me.
they did the bit where it was like the Jaws Evil Dead bit, and then she was like, ah!
Then
And it was
there
just
were
him
rabbit.
with dead rabbits.
Yeah.
And then they fucked off out of the woods and ran him home. Ran him over on the way home, sorry. Ran home. And then he was there.
I like that the dad was speeding, not looking at the road, and like...
You were too worried about his trout.
Yeah. And like the sun was in his eyes, like, do you need your sunglasses? No, I'm good. I'm just going to like squint.
Yeah. But that even had loads of little fake out moments where it was like, oh, the sun's shining. Oh, no. Oh, we're through it. And then it was like, oh, and I don't know. It was just a couple of really odd choices at the beginning. So then they run the fucker over, don't they? And decide that they're going to, get some money, I guess?
Yeah, they're going to, take him home and be like, here's Bigfoot. Give me some money.
Do you think at any point George thought about fucking Bigfoot?
I mean, obviously they're going to have a butthole.
Yeah.
But you'd have to do some shaving to find it. So it'd be a bit suspicious, wouldn't it, if, your wife walks in and you're shaving Bigfoot's butthole.
Why is Harry's butthole so incredibly smooth? Have you ever seen a Yeti's butthole before? No. Oh, they must be smooth then.
He's not a Yeti.
When you're...
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's a Sasquatch.
Well, isn't a
What's the
Yeti
difference?
just like a colder version of a
Yeah.
Sasquatch? It's just different climate, but they're probably separated, like, if they were real.
Do you know that David Attenborough believes that Bigfoots could be real?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So is this like the brown bear of the polar bear? So a Yeti is like the polar bear and the brown bear is
Yeah, I'd
Harry.
say so. They're kind of the same thing, but
Is that the
different.
abominable snowman?
Abominable snowman.
Yeah. You know, when because you look into a lot of these, like, Cryptids, was it?
Uh-huh.
Do you ever think, I wonder where their butthole is? Like on all the other animals. On
And if
the
it's smooth.
Puckwidget.
Puckwidgie.
Okay, Puckwidgie. Do you ever go, where's the butthole?
No. I do sometimes wonder what his dick looks like. Is it going to be an innie or an outie?
Innie dick?
Like cats have innie dicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Like a belly button.
I think like
A widgie.
humans with innie dicks, like just dicks that are completely in them and just pop out.
Like,
Yeah. You know, when you blow up a balloon,
we started off having such grown-up conversations.
Yeah, and now dicks and arseholes, as always.
I feel we've named a podcast episode something about dicks and arseholes.
Yeah, there was thumb toe or whatever it was. Thumb or toe versus dick or ball or something like that. Yeah.
What was the most recent subtitle on the? Was it the?
Coming to America?
Yeah.
I can't remember. But so we see Harry,
Yep.
interestingly enough, played by Kevin Peter Hall, who was the Predator. The guy in the Predator suit who replaced Van Damme. And there was some kind of similar movements, I thought. Big arm movements between the Predator. Maybe he is a Predator.
But he was really good with his eyes.
Yeah.
His eyes were really expressive.
Yeah.
I loved the fact that he did try and do the Bigfoot run.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like the picture, it's like,
Yeah.
there were just little bits where you could see that he was like consciously trying to do that Bigfoot run. Like,
Do you think he'd studied that photo?
I hope so.
the practical effects in this film, the work they did on Bigfoot's face and everything like that was spot on. It's the whole reason people care about this film, I reckon, more than anything, because it made him so realistic and likable and kind.
Yeah. His little kind face. Reminded me a little bit of Richie.
I can see that. Does he have to look at you like,
Just don't really speak a lot. Everything's in his face, like.
So when you first saw Richie, he was like, Bigfoot.
Harry.
Oh, Harry, so yeah. He's got a name.
Yeah. So they take him home, don't they? And then he just trashes the place.
I fucking love it. He's eating plants.
Yeah. He smashes every doorway that he goes through.
No, it makes it bigger. It stops him from bumping his head.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that kind of is what happens for a bit. Just them hiding him.
He was going to eat dog.
Yeah.
I was
he loves
confused
animals,
about, at this point, his motivations. Because at first, when he was eating plants, and because he wasn't immediately attacking everyone, it's like, oh, are we going to set him up as a vegetarian? But then
He's a pescatarian.
as he's trashing the house, he eats that fish.
Oh, yeah.
And then, did you say the dog? He was a little bit looking at it, maybe with food. Was that?
No, because he picks it up, doesn't he, and grabs it by the entire head.
Yeah.
And I love it because they obviously switch out the dog. Because the first one's really rah, rah, and then it cuts to another one that looks slightly different, and that one's really floppy and and he just puts his hand over his whole head. I wonder what that dog thought was going on.
I don't think that dog enjoyed it.
No. There was a few bits in this film as well where the dog was just thrown around. That seemed to be a thing in the 80s and 90s. Where someone behind the scenes just
the bit where the dog's
throws.
jumping up at him, and you can tell because the last one, the dog is flipping midair, but it isn't possible unless you just jump the dog.
I mean, moose can jump pretty high.
No, but is he almost his back is facing the ground by the time he's...
Oh, he flips himself round. Is weird.
Really?
He'll run from one side of the living room and dive onto the sofa against the window, but it kind of jumps up and flips himself around. So his back hits the back of the sofa and then he bounces back.
What a crazy dog.
Arnold obviously goes up to that window behind me by the sofa, and the other day he attacked it at an angle, so he just skidded across it.
Oh, I don't have a dog.
Just make up one for friends.
My dog is so dumb. It jumps off the balcony and lives. I don't know. So yeah, they bring him home. He trashes the place. And then they kind of realise, don't they, that he's not all too bad.
Yeah. When he's
loves the
burying,
deer. Yeah.
when he's burying the taxidermy.
But I like the story with the dad and the way that George is kind of this hunter at the beginning, and you see throughout that that's obviously come from his dad, and he just wanted to paint, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just wanted, he says something about his birthday party that he just wanted crayons or something when he was younger, and he gave him a gun. And like that hunter bit, that kind of like nicely goes throughout the whole film of him being this hunter to the end, being
I did like the arc,
savior.
Though it was also a bit surprising because his arc was also he's a bit fed up. He doesn't like going into work.
Yeah.
At the start, you set him up that he's hunting and he seems to enjoy hunting. Like you don't get any indication that he doesn't enjoy it or he'd rather be out there. Like if they just had a scene where it's like it's like
drawing Bigfoot dicks.
Just like,
Or what would you have liked to have seen, like a scene of him at the beginning hunting with his kid, and then him just like putting the gun in his mouth, just be like,
not today.
fuck my life, and then Ernie coming over and being like, Dad, and him being like, oh, I love hunting.
It was weird that he went from like loving hunting and then be like, oh, I don't want to work, and I was thinking, oh, he's going to be an office worker, and then he works in a hunting shop, with his dad. I was like, that's not a bad, and it didn't look like they were wanting for anything at home. Like I didn't see any of his arc of he's fed up with this until it needed to come in.
Yeah.
So I think, but I like the fact that he was drawing. If it had just weaved it in a little bit more on the start, it would have made more sense.
Okay, well, we'll leave it now for part one. We'll come back later. We'll talk about the villain, so-called villain, Poirot, or whatever.
Lafleur.
Yeah, Lafleur.
What it called, like Jacques, though.
Yeah,
Jacques.
Yeah.
Who are you going for?
He is Poirot from the TV show.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we'll talk about him in part two.
Bigfoot wouldn't leave no razor marks,
No,
would he?
if you ever seen Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Yeti, either one, you'll know they ain't been in a mile of a razor ever, you know.
Welcome back to part two, where we're talking about Harry and the Hendersons, and we said we were going to pick up talking about the bad guy. What was his name again, Hobo?
It was Jacques Lafleur.
Jacques Lafleur.
Jacques.
Oh, the flower.
But
okay.
they refer to him as Jacko sometimes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Because my first note is that his name is Jacko.
He didn't come into the film for a long time, I felt like. It was a really odd structure, this film, because they had the bringing Harry back to the house, thinking he's a bit of a dick, then realizing actually he's all right, he's just a big animal who just wants to eat veggies and bury dead animals or whatever, bury scarves. And then they were like, right, we're going to set him free about 45 minutes into the film. And they had this weird, like, emotional scene where they're all saying goodbye to him. And I was like, well, are we there? Do we care that much about him at this point?
Well, the kid did.
Yeah.
But why?
Ernest.
He's only been there a day.
Yeah, but it's like giving a kid a puppy and taking it away after a day.
Yeah, it's
You know,
just,
what a dick.
it's
But
like,
this puppy's like super strong and can like.
Smash your house up.
Yeah, but carry you on its back.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took anyone else. Actually, the mum kind of missed him a little bit, even though she wouldn't admit it. But yeah, why wouldn't it take you? Looking at his face, like you instantly, like, oh, he's a nice guy.
If you were like dog sit Arnold for a day while we just go away, I'd be like, yeah, cool. If you came to pick him up and I was like, bye Arnold, and was like crying about it, you'd be like, get a fucking grip.
Yeah,
No, but if I picked him up and went, you are never gonna see him ever again.
I'd be all right with that. Sorry, Arnold. No, but it's a wild animal. Like, I know they call it Harry because he's hairy, but maybe this is you two dog owners against me on this one. But I was like, yeah, you've not earned this yet. So yeah, sorry, I said about talking about the villain and then went off. So what are his motives in this film? Just to catch Bigfoot?
Catch Bigfoot, get the money.
Yeah. And
So-
a bit of legitimacy, I think, because he's been trying to catch it for so long. No one believes him anymore. Even the Bigfoot sighting guy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, was it this? And also I like that he gave I can't remember what the sighting guy is, the doctor, but he gave away a little bit more story on Lafleur, that he's like, oh, what's your excuse this time? He looked at you with sad eyes and you let him walk off. And then he said another one. I was like, so he's had the same moment at one point where he had the choice to shoot him and didn't because he looked at his face and saw a guy die.
Saw Richie.
Richie. And then, like, clearly over time he's changed
Wearing
his
flannel.
mind.
Sawing some stuff.
But I liked it when he went to see that other guy. When John Lithgow went to see the other older Bigfoot sighting guy.
Yeah.
And he said about, have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Yes.
I have.
And I was like, I've had this conversation before.
Did you notice at the end?
No?
So when Bigfoot's hiding in the tree,
With all the doves and stuff on him.
they were kind of small pigeons.
Is that what it was?
I don't know if I was meant to suggest they were baby pigeons. I mean, they kind of look like normal pigeons, but pretty small. But I think that was meant to suggest that, yeah, you don't see the baby pigeons, but we are there.
Ah, right. Okay. I didn't.
Why has no one ever seen a baby pigeon?
I don't know.
What, as in, like,
There must be.
you like, I see them all the time?
Like, I'm not that kid from Sixth Sense.
I see baby pigeons. So, do you think because I don't feel like I've ever seen one. Are they do they just look like other birds maybe? And I don't consider that to be a pigeon.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see them knocking around like the streets like you do a normal pigeon, but if you go to like forests and things, you'll see.
There we go. Now we've all seen baby pigeons.
Yeah, that's a baby.
That's
in,
a baby
it's
baby.
in the nest baby. Like, you don't see any baby birds unless you look.
We know
in the
that
nest.
picture of in the video that Richie maliciously sent round about me wooing or macking on, as Hobo said earlier on, with that pigeon.
Yeah.
That's a baby pigeon. That's a fledgling.
Oh, right. Okay. Then.
So you were macking on a baby? That is disgusting, guy. There's actually a BBC article about why don't you ever see baby pigeons that was published in 2015. So clearly,
It's
whoever
a
wrote
thing.
this had watched Harry and Henderson.
Yeah.
It's like, there we go. Got my article for this week.
So George has this like little kind of mini breakdown in the middle, doesn't he? We learn about his love for painting. His dad wants him to do a big drawing of a mean-looking Bigfoot. He does a kind one. And then he kicks off on the news as well, doesn't he? I love that bit when he just confronts that guy. And he's like, no, you didn't do that.
What actually happened is you got scared and you missed your pants and you scared him off, isn't it?
And the guy's like, yes. And then they turned on him, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they're like, why do you know stuff?
It's like, my name is, what is it, George?
George Hen.
Yeah. I love that moment.
But Lithgow's just so good.
Yeah.
Like, his voice is great. Like, if you think about Lord Farquaad, whatever, from Shrek, I'm just like, it's just a great voice.
It is a good voice.
And he's ace in Santa Claus, the movie.
I like him in 30 Rock as well.
Yeah. Do you think that's why he wasn't in...
Third Rock.
Third Rock, yeah.
Third
that's
Rock.
it.
30 Rock.
30 Rock is a TV
Yeah,
series.
that's Tina Fey.
He might have been in it, but I can't remember.
Sorry.
Is
Third
that
Rock.
why he wasn't in more films then? Because he was just doing Third Rock from the Sun, do you think?
I think he does a lot of stage as well. Obviously he's a classically trained actor.
Yeah, he seems like a stage person.
Yeah, and I know a lot of actors like to just take out a big chunk of time and just go on tour with a troupe and stuff. So
A troupe.
the troupe, an acting troupe. Is it? Do you only use troupe for comedy?
Maybe. Yeah.
No, there's like dance troupes.
Oh, yeah, of
Dance
course.
troupes, Oh, yeah.
It's just a gang.
Have you ever been in a dance troupe, Katty?
No.
What about a skate troupe?
No, that's the squad.
Is that a squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds better. Skate Squad.
Have you ever been in a murder of crows? Anyone?
No.
What about a conspiracy? Oh, no, is it a conspiracy of crow?
There's
a murder of crows.
Parliament of Owls, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Do you know that? Do you know that? Is it crows or is it magpies? That they peck out the eyes of like the other one if they've done something bad, like they hold like a court, and if they deem if they deem the other one like the bird being guilty, they like fuck it up.
No, I didn't know
I
that.
just pictured a bird going, guilty! Back is the hideout! No, don't! He's a good one!
What accent's
I
that?
don't know. He's a good one! He's not so bad, he lent me his Hoover.
So what happens in the end of this film then?
So Bigfoot runs off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
After he beats him.
Oh, he slaps him in the face, didn't he?
No, that was
he slaps him at the end, doesn't he?
Oh, okay.
I thought he slapped him at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before they let him go and he's like running around neighbourhoods and people are seeing sightings, that's why he kicks off on the news.
He's breaking into people's houses and just eating the plants.
But they end up bringing him back home, don't they? Because that's when they invite Dr. Wrightwood round.
Yeah.
And he's like behind him. And they have like a little weird, he has a little sleepover, doesn't he?
Oh, it was adorable. And he brings in all them leaves and branches and stuff and makes himself a little bed. Yeah. And then the doctor guy just kind of like walks out, doesn't say anything, then just heads back in with his sleeping bag.
I like that because he acknowledges like, oh, I thought he'd say goodbye or something because he just fuck off. It's like, I kind of almost wish he had just stayed away at that point just for that line. I was like, oh, well, I thought he'd say goodbye.
Yeah.
But yeah, I half expected that doctor guy had a boner while I was laying next to him.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah. But the little kid was between them, wasn't he?
Yeah, and dog.
And the reason why he had a boner.
Oh, no. But then that kind of brings us to the end of the film, isn't it? It's now about setting Harry free, get him in the car, he pushes the roof up.
The floor tracked him down by their license plate or something.
Yeah.
Well, there's that whole bit before, isn't there, where they have like, not a shootout, but he's after them with a gun and they're in the garbage truck and things like that. But it's kind of just to get Lafleur in prison. But then he gets out anyway, so I don't really know what.
Yeah, it seemed a bit.
His mates with like one of the police guys, like chief people.
Yeah.
He gets out, but I think it's just so like Harry gets to go home and then meet the doctor and stuff.
So they take him back, and this is where he slaps him, and he's like,
they
go
take him to
away.
a different place because the doctor's like, oh, I've got the perfect place, but I don't know if I can find it during the night.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why they have to set off in the day.
Right, okay then. And they take him to that area.
Yep.
And then they see his footprints, don't they? And they're like, oh no, he's going to be able to track him.
I did shed a tear though when he was shouting, go home, no one wants you here.
Really?
And he punched him.
Oh,
I remembered that scene.
I didn't.
And from the little bits, that's like the big moment. Because it's referencing so many things like, go home, we don't want you anymore.
Oh, I thought that was referencing other things.
No, this is
the original.
The thing that did it.
Oh.
But I forgot. I kind of thought because it had been so long that the film ended at that point. Like he went home and then so when all this other stuff was, I was like, oh wow, it's a happy ending. Like I thought it was a bittersweet ending originally, but
no, they have that, and maybe that was originally how it was going to end. But then they have this extra bit, don't they, where they all put on. Where do they get those giant Bigfoot feet from?
From the guy,
the doctor's got them?
Yeah, because he owns the museum.
Right. Okay, then. So they all strap those on, walk around. And then that doesn't really work, does it?
No, because
he's a fucking 8-foot giant hairy man.
Harry's hiding in the tree, and George is like off doing some prints and stuff, and Harry sees him and is like, "Oh, that's right, nice." Yeah. And then Lafleur's there, and he's got the gun, and he's going to start to track George.
Oh,
so then Harry gets worried that he's going to shoot George, and then Harry jumps out and rages at Lafleur.
Yeah. It's a nice moment. It made sense why Harry would come back because there's a bit where he like remembers the smack. It's like that, but then when he sees it, it's really played without any dialogue, and it's just all from that kind dickhead's face.
It's so emotional.
Yeah.
And then at the end with all of the Bigfoots.
Well, there's a couple of bits that like that we've missed that I was like, oh, that's weird. Like didn't he knee Bigfoot in the dick?
Yeah.
he like boot or kicks him and he's like, oh! And then there's another bit where he brings it back from earlier where he catches the dog. What? I remember him catching the dog again, but why?
Lafleur throws the dog because the dog gets out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And is like attacking Lafleur.
Yeah.
And he just bends down, picks it up, looks at it, and then just throws it. But the throw that it's sort of showing you, it's not a throw that a human would be able to do.
It flies at him. It's like, catch.
But I like the fact that they actually threw a dog on screen.
Lots of dog throwing.
Didn't give a shit about it, did they?
This dog might like it.
Yeah. There might have been a giant bouncy castle just off the screen that they throw it onto. But then, yeah, that's the end then. So
Oh, and then LeFleur changes his mind because like George is like fucking him up a little bit, and then Harry stops him.
Yeah.
And,
that was nice.
Yeah, and then he strokes his head, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then slapped him on the floor.
Yeah, he did that like one at a time,
before,
didn't he?
Yeah.
He
did it with the daughter.
But then we see the rest of the little Bigfoot family appear. I didn't see them.
That blew my mind.
I said to
Layla,
I was like, I reckon in a bit all his family are gonna like start coming out of the woodworks, and maybe it's because I remember it from a kid, literal woodwork. And they all popped out, didn't they?
Yeah, then there were a little baby one.
Yeah,
they weren't a Pukwudgie.
I didn't like that bit. That felt a bit Return of the Jedi. Ewok family.
Well, I loved it because it showed why they've never been seen. They're just really good at
hiding. Yeah, that was good.
They just blend in so well.
I think it's because I could half imagine them being like, "Oh, let's do a sequel," and then the
Bigfoot orgy.
Bigfoot would have like. There'd be one with a bow in its hair to be like, that's the mum one. And then there'd be another one that's got a tiny dick or whatever. That's the kid. No, they'd like put glasses on it or something. They'd have some stupid ass family one.
And there'd be one totally shaved, only its butthole showing. That's the gender neutral one.
The super hairy butthole. So it's like a reverse one. So what did they do any follow-ups apart from, they did a TV show?
They did a TV show. I don't think there were any other films.
No, I didn't think so. So are we up for our opinions?
Yeah.
Oh, at the end, he started talking. Did Harry?
Oh yeah.
What did he say?
Fuck you. Yeah. What does he say?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go first because why not? I liked it. I didn't love it. I think it's luxurious cheese.
The greasy strangler.
Yeah. No, it's a luxurious cheese. It's definitely not spoilt milk. But it's at the lower end of like, it's not an E.T. Like you could tell it wanted to be a bit E.T. Even the mum of the family looked a bit like the mum from E.T. But yeah, I liked it. Its heart was in the right place. Loved John Lithgow. Loved the practical effects. Thought the guy in the suit did a really good job of bringing it to life. Like you say, the eyes. So yeah, for me, luxurious cheese. Who's going?
Okay.
I agree. Of course I do. I own this film on DVD.
But you like it's a higher standard cheese than what I think.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's not E.T., but it's up there. Like, it's just heartwarming and little Bigfoot and his little expressive face and when he cries.
Yeah.
It's just bless him.
Definitely found the right audience in you.
Yeah. So yeah, luxurious cheese.
2 votes for cheese. So it's already cheese. Is it a triple cheese?
Don't get me wrong, I liked this. I liked, like I say, the character design, how expressive I managed to make the face, and that bit at the end kind of blew me away. But there's a lot I didn't mention in this, which is the terrible acting and dialogue that comes from pretty much everyone in the film.
Not Lithgow.
Not Lithgow, but he isn't given good lines either. So he's very cookie-cutter lines of like, I'm a dad character. And everyone's got them, and it's...
Oh, no, I thought he was a bit more fleshed out than your standard 80s dad in a film. I liked that he liked the arts and had this, like, gun life forced on him by his dad. And he was then kind of almost putting it onto his son, and it was this, like, effect of generations of gun loving getting passed down. And I like that he had his own little journey to go on that wasn't as much about Bigfoot, just aided him on his way. So I thought, compared to a lot of 80s films like this.
Yeah. No, I agree. It definitely had an arc. But I don't know. It just, and it was the first half of that film, even when Bigfoot's in it, is slow. It only really picks up a bit more in the second half.
Whereas I felt differently. I thought like the first part was really quite quick and rattled along. And then I was like, this is nearly over now. And they were like crying and setting him free. And I was like, oh, right, no, there's another bit. And then I felt like it slowed down a bit.
Oh, no, I felt it picked up more.
All right.
But I'm going to give it a luxurious cheese.
Yeah, I think
it's only just, and I think it's because I I don't like the idea of the fact of the creature work with Harry was so good.
Is it Rick Baker who does it?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
But yeah,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I love that. I think anyone should at least see this version of Bigfoot, even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend the film. Like, I'd recommend them seeing this version of Bigfoot because it's so well done.
You disgust me.
It's just, it's just when I think about rating these films, like, would I like happily recommend this? And I would in very small cases.
You recommended the greasy fucking strangler.
No.
Yeah, but you also said it was Spoilt Milk.
Yeah, like I knew, I thought you guys would love it. I was surprised when you didn't because it seemed like your film. But yeah, no, I would recommend it, but only to probably people like you, people like Laura.
The good people.
Yeah. Dog lovers.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone
people with feelings.
Yeah. Right, okay, so that's it. So Harry and the Hendersons is Spoilt Milk.
It's not Spoilt Milk.
No, it's Oh no. And that's it for this week. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, you pieces of fucking shit.